Hey, thanks for joining me. So today I want to look at a knife. It's one I've kind of been wanting for a while, kind of held off on buying it, but Amazon had it on sale at a really good price, so I went ahead and bought it. It's the Cold Steel SRK Compact. And I like the Compact a little bit better than the full-size one. To me, that's as big a blade as I need for most of my outdoor use, and I just really like the knife. So I want to put it on the workbench behind me so we can take a look at it, and I'll show you all the features of it. I've been using this knife for the last couple of weeks. Just some chores around the house and out in the garden, and it's really been nice to use. Good sturdy blade. I think for just a general outdoor camping, hiking, I guess if you're into bushcraft, or I think most people just like to go camping, and since spring is here, this is probably a really good one to have in your kit. Anyway, we'll put it on the workbench, take a look at it, and see what you think.
Okay, this is the Cold Steel SRK Compact. Now, here's the box it comes in. It's a, just a simple box. There's a plastic bag in here that the knife is in. No fancy packaging, but still a nice little presentation. The knife, though, is something I think is really special. So what we have here is a knife that is just really beautifully proportioned, well made. Comes with a really well thought out sheath. So we're going to go over both of these and kind of see what you think. I'm really liking this knife. Like I say, it's a real traditional, classic design and shape, but it's a design and a shape that just functions really well. So this knife, just to start with it, made by Cold Steel. The blade is made of SK5, which is the Japanese tool steel. It's known for being pretty tough, and so that was one of the reasons I bought it. I really like that steel. It's one of my favorite steels. The blade is 0.16 of an inch thick, which is 4 millimeters, and 5 inches long. The overall length is 9.5 inches. The knife weighs 3.6 ounces by itself, and if you weigh it together with the sheath, it's 5.1 ounces. As you can see, the blade is a typical saber grind. It's a flat grind, but it starts partway down the blade, and then it's got a secondary bevel on the edge. And this thing came just super sharp, which is pretty typical for Cold Steel. And it has stayed sharp really nicely. I've been, like I say, mainly using it out in the garden and just some normal cutting stuff, cutting up some cardboard to go in the recycle bin, and had to kind of clean out my garden to get it ready to restart, and so I've just been using it for that kind of stuff. It just does a great job, and I can't say enough good stuff about SK5 steel. It's just one of my favorite steels. And it's a high carbon steel. It's not stainless, but it has this Tough X finish on the blade to help corrosion resistance. This is not ground for like a ferro rod or a striker. If you wanted to do that, you would have to, and you'd lose that finish on the top, but you'd have to sharpen it. But the handle is called Crayex, and it's checkered. It's pretty deeply checkered and nice and grippy. It's easy to hold on to even if your hands are wet. And I actually ran into some of that in the garden when I was kind of cleaning off some stuff and just washing, watering down the soil, and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff in the garden. Several times I had my hands wet, and it's still just real easy to hold on to. So it's just a really well thought out. It does have a lanyard hold, and it's got a finger guard, which is actually part of the grip. You can actually see it's a little bit flexible. It's part of this Crayex material. And this is a partial tang. It goes just part way down the handle, but it seems to be really sturdily made, well thought out, and the SRK is known for being a really good, outdoor knife. The SRK, I believe, stands for Search and Rescue Knife, and then the C is for the compact version. The full-size version has a little bit longer blade and a little bit bigger handle. But I like the compact size. For me, it's just about the right size for an outdoor knife. Anything bigger than this becomes a little unwieldy for the things that I do. So, I think if, just for normal outdoor camping use, if you're a big game hunter, you could easily, field dress big game with this without any problem. The sheath is this Secure X. I like how they put X at the end of everything. So it's material looks a lot like it's a polymer, but it's not a Kydex. This is actually injection molded, and it's two-piece and riveted together. And the way this is made, this back part here with the belt loop, and this is kind of cool. I've never seen this before. This is Velcroed and snapped. So if you want to attach this to something, and it's not just the snap that holds it on, the Velcro does too. You can take the screws out and reposition this if you wanted to. And it's got, of course, the loop on it. And with lots of attachment points on the sheath. The knife fits in nice and snug and kind of locks in. It has a nice shelf right here, though, that you can use your thumb to help pop it out. But, you know, the knife, even without it being strapped in, it stays real well. Doesn't rattle. And so it's a really well thought out sheath. I like it. And it'd be easy to strap to a pack or, you know, wear on your belt or however you'd like to do your knife. Now this knife is, like I say, been just working really well for me. I have just really enjoyed using it. It is a very traditional, almost kind of Bowie style blade. And I thought it was interesting while I was working with this knife that I noticed that the shape on this is not that different than the Green River hunting and fishing knife that I have. I was kind of surprised at how similar the blade shapes are. So the Russell Green River, you can really kind of see the connective tissue. This has a bit more belly here, and it rises up a little higher here, but you can see how these traditional American shapes kind of evolved over time. But there's definitely some connective tissue there. Obviously, this is a much more heavy-duty knife with a much heavier blade. Still, I love the Green River knife. It's a great knife. But this SRK Compact is definitely going to be one of my favorites. And, you know, these are pretty affordable. I was able to find these on Amazon at a really good price. The other day when I bought it, price had dropped. I thought they were around $39 or $40, something like that. Right now they're about $35 on Amazon, but they had a sale the other day where they were only $28, and I was like, oh, okay, I got to do that. So it was part of their spring sale they had recently, and so I picked it up. But still, even at $35, I think it's really an excellent knife. I have some of this manila rope. This is just a little piece of it that's left. Stuff is really hard to cut. You can't just lightly, you know, push down on it and cut it. You have to bear down pretty hard, but this knife goes through it pretty readily. You can hear just, you know, all those little crunchy sounds as it cuts through those fibers. Really dense fibers. They're really hard to cut through. This thing goes through leather pretty nicely. You can just cut leather like it was nobody's business. And, you know, it just goes right through it. Of course, paper would be no problem. But everything I've done with it, it's just performed really well. It's really comfortable to use in just about any position you want to hold the knife, whether you're choking up on it. And that's one of the things I like about the clip point, is that if you choke up on this, you've got a pretty fine point. You can even do some pretty fine work if you need to. And so it's just been a great knife. Anyway, that's the Cold Steel SRK Compact, or SRKC knife. And if you're looking for just a good heavy-duty outdoor knife that'll really hold up, I think this is a good one to choose. Well, there you go, the Cold Steel SRK Compact. I really like this knife. It's going to be one that I keep in my pack. You know, whether I'm out just camping or in the outdoors, working in my garden or going hunting, I think this is going to be a really good knife to have. It's a great design, good traditional blade style, and I think it's just going to be super useful. Anyway, that's the Cold Steel SRK Compact. If you have any thoughts or questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you. And as always, thanks for watching.